Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Annie's Replay Casts. I'm your caster, Annie, or Android, whatever you want to call me, and this is going to be Replay 2210957440. And I am very excited to cast this game. I got to take a quick peek at the opening stats, and I am sure that this is going to be the game of a lifetime. So let's, without further ado, get started, pop up that last hit chart, and go ahead and introduce our teams. Here on the side of the Radiant, we're going to have Ugly Peruviano on the Pugna, Arteezy himself playing this Alchemist. Digimon going to be on that support Witch Doctor. It's going to be open brackets on the Death Prophet. Up here we're going to have JH and Junior on the offlane Windrunner. On the side of the Dire, we have Delete Bat on the support Lion. Following him up, it's going to be Mr. Outside on the Magnus. Krilla going to be on the Sven. Up here in the jungle, we're going to have Burnt Mexi on the Enigma. And over here in the offlane, it's going to be Van Dam on this Viper. So overall, going into the opening part of the game, should be a pretty clean rune sweep. I think Dire are poised up to get the top rune pretty well. Bottom, it looks like there might be some aggression tossed out onto the Viper. He's going to take a last hit or two. Going out there, he does skill the poison attack, but Radiant, easy grab there for the Alchemist. And does he do the right thing? No. He does not skill the Greevil's Greed, so he's not going to get the huge payout from that bounty rune. Oh, I think that could be a big mistake for Arteezy. He's heading towards the mid lane and not going to be benefiting as hard as he should. Oh man, that's I really wish he had been able to skill that. That would have been a huge advantage for him. And we're going to have that Viper in the offlane here. I think Van Dam might have a little bit of time going up against heavy harassers. Witch Doctor obviously able to go in from afar. Death Prophet here in the safe lane. Unusual laning combination, but I think it can pay off really, really well for the Radiant in this case. You've got to be very careful, Viper has to be very careful of where he is, because again, a couple Spirit Siphons, he could get messed up. Meanwhile, up top, we are going to have an Earth Spike here onto Ugly Peruviano. Delete Bat, getting kind of low, but able to walk back underneath, and hopefully he'll fly in some regen. Oh, I totally missed it down bottom. I called it out too. I knew Death Prophet was going to go in with that Spirit Siphon and get herself a kill, but Van Dam does end up falling. So Viper going to be the first blood here. I think that's the danger of an offlane Viper, is he's just not super survivable. He dishes out a good amount of damage. He's good at farming from afar, but, well, once he's cornered and attacked, there's not a whole lot he can do. So it's going to get a little bit juicy here. Viper's going to TP back into the lane, hopefully catching himself up in a little bit of farm. He's picked himself up his first last hit. Congratulations, little buddy. But meanwhile, Death Prophet, she's feeling comfortable. She's got 4 last hits and a kill. And it's going to be one scary safe lane dead lady. Up top, we've got Krilla on the Sven. He has 2 mangoes, so anticipating needing to use that Storm Hammer a good amount, and I think that's going to come in very handy. Ugly Peruviano going in, playing very aggressively here. I'm not quite sure who's getting farm priority. It looks like Pugna and the Windrunner both going to be splitting, but not really getting a whole lot of anything between themselves. As Pugna, he's more of a typical safe laner than an offlaner, but I guess they're going to have to make it work. Krilla, he's doing his best here. 6 last hits, only 1 away from the Enigma here. And Viper, nice aggressive ward there, scouting out all the movement from the rune spot, and probably going to be messing up Digimon a little bit as well, if Digimon opts to go around here in the side and try to harass. So it's going to be a calm early game here. We're going to have Krilla taking a little bit of damage there from the Windrunner. She does have the Orb of Venom. That is not a typical build here on this Ginger Lady. I think it's going to help her out with her harass potential a lot, but again, just going to slow up the rest of the items coming out for her. She's out of regen. She has no shoes. She's going to go smack up Delete Boat. A lot of damage coming there. We have Viper hiding behind his own tower as the wave is pushed in so deep here from the Radiant. He's going in with the poison attacks, smacking him onto open brackets. She's going to be A-okay as she eats up a tree. She does also have the Spirit Siphon if she needs to suck back some of that health. We have an Earth Spike coming through. Ugly Peruviano going to take a Storm Hammer to the face. There's going to be a Hex here onto JH and Junior. Nether Blast coming through, not hurting Krilla as much as he should. He does have another mango if he wants to gobble it up for another stun in 2 seconds. Wind Ranger does end up getting the pick on the Lion. They get the Shackle onto Krilla. This could be big. If he wants to, he can gobble up the mango and go for another stun, but he's going to run for his life. having a little bit of a tough time there up against all the constant harass of the Pugnet and the Windrunner. The good news is they are fresh out of mana and no regen to be had for them, so once Sven comes back into lane full and healthy, he can go in for some potential kills here. Digimon now doing his best, trying to keep Viper back out of the XP range, and it's working a little bit. He's level 4. Spooky Dead Lady, she's level 4.5, so getting a little bit more out of the lane than the Viper. Haven't talked a whole lot about the mid. We have Mr. Outside on the Magnus. He has his completed bottle. We're going for the rune split here. Arteezy finally skilling up that Grievous Greed, so he's going to make that, that wasn't even a bounty rune. I thought it was yellow. Got confused. Either way, he's getting some good gold for his time. Magnus obviously going to be picking up a salve off the courier. Keeping himself good and healthy in the lane. Again, a very calm laning phase for now. Arteezy going in, using that illusion rune, maybe trying to push out this wave a little bit. Mr. Outside, gonna be tipping into level 6 territory very soon. Could go in with a very funky RP if we have some rotations by supports. Mr. Outside getting trapped in by the illusions. The body block is real. Skewer underneath the tower. Arteezy gonna be taking some shots, channeling up the stun. Gonna be dead before he even has a chance to react. Magnus going in. That level 3 shockwave doing some work. Well, good golly. Now we've got Vengeful Spirit. No, Death Prophet. That's the right Dead Lady. Going in with that Spirit Siphon onto the Viper. Gets a little bit of damage off, but it's not enough to bring down Viper or force him back out of lane. Meanwhile, Krilla doing his best to keep farming. He does now have the shoes. Probably going to be going for some early treads. Get his stats up nice and quick on that Sven. Windrunner has the shoes now. Not his salve. Gives back the salve to the Pugnet. A little bit of a cheeky play there. I'm not quite sure what was going on with that. So overall, just in terms of last hits, Enigma is the big leader here in the jungle. He's doing things with his Eidolons, getting himself big, getting himself pretty leveled. Only a couple camps off from that level 6 and some crazy black holes. Lion's been doing what he can. Let's see, we got no stacks on the medium camp and, well, nothing here in the small camp as the Radiant have that warded up real nice, so it's going to be difficult for Sven to find any little extra bit of farm that he can. I would like to see Lion go and maybe stack that medium camp over here just to give Sven a little bit of something when they're able to push out the wave. Death Prophet, she's not making last hitting a huge priority. She's just kind of going in maybe for some more aggression. That first kill is helping her out a lot in terms of just keeping her up and even with everyone else. Arteezy holding his own in the mid lane. He's got a haste rune, but again, hasn't found a bounty in the last couple of minutes, so that Grievous Greed not going to pay off as much as it really should be. Mr. Outside, he has the RP ready to go. He wants to use it so desperately, I can feel it. Maybe going for another clutch skewer combo into that shockwave, but he needs to budget his mana just a little bit. Magnus is big, but he's not gigantic. Windrunner up here, she's trying to force something out. Maybe get Krilla to pop one of the Stormhammers, but he's full mana, so he does have a little less than... yeah, he has 2 Stormhammers if he wants to use them. It's going to be Junior and Junior getting hexed up. There is going to be a pause as the Stormhammer is being thrown out. Does it connect? It does connect, so Frog is stunned up. They're going to be using an Earth Spike as well. Mana Drain, everything, just to kind of get him down, but nice shackle to the tree. Pausing. Some BM going on down here as Krilla able to hop back into the lane. No harm, no foul, as both the Windrunner and the Sven get away pretty much scratch-free. Van Dam here on the Viper, looking to get himself back into lane. He is level 6, but has not chosen to skill up the Viper Strike. I think that could be a little bit of a mistake. He might just need that slow here on the Death Prophet eventually to make things worthwhile. We're going to have Pugna here walking towards the rune, going up, maybe putting up a nice little ward. He's got the Observer. The mids, now that they've respawned from their unfortunate trip back to the fountain as they killed each other, are going to be hopping back into lane. Arteezy gets there just a little bit beforehand, able to pick up some solo XP and some safe farm, but Mr. Outside, after burning that RP, he's got to play a little bit safer. Junior here, he's not got the Focus Fire, only level 4 there on the Windrunner. As Sven out-leveling her just by a little bit, so he's going to have that God Strength and going to be able to go for kills pretty soon. Witch Doctor doing a nice job keeping the lane pushed out for the Death Prophet. She's having a nice time. She's got 22 last hits to her name. It's not absolutely huge. The Enigma's doing a great job keeping himself huge, but just in terms of net worth, well, she's in the top 3. She's feeling really comfortable about her early kill, and the fact that Viper is having to play so defensively, he's so far back, he does end up being able to skill that Viper strike as he was holding on to the point before. Arteezy now, he's sitting, he has a double damage rune ready to go, and the Chemical Rage. He might be able to dive deep here to get down Mr. Outside. The RP is off cooldown in, it's 7 seconds now. He's got to play this one safe. I think maybe some attempts for blood. We're going to have the Enigma rotating down. Enigma is level 7, so the Black Hole's online when they want to do it. Rotation in from the Pugna, putting up some Nether Blasts on this tower. Hopefully trying to get some early aggro going and some early map advantage here for the Radiant. So we keep having pause attempts, but no one on the Radiant has exactly explained what they need. I'm not quite sure where the manners are or who's at fault here, but either way, this tower is going to be falling fast as we've got the Exorcism and a bunch of Nether Blasts being spammed out. There is going to be a Fortify spent because, well, no harm, no foul on that. It comes back up afterwards no matter what. And, oh, deny on the tower! Great job by the Viper right there. Was not expecting that one, so after a tough time in lane, he's finally the one to say, you know what, I give up this tower. I set it free, and, well, Arteezy, he's double damaged up now. Gonna be rotating around. Looks like he will be going for an armlet, which is kind of a little bit quirky here on the Alchemist. It's gonna be a TP back into lane by Ugly Peruviano. Maybe looking to apply some pressure. Meanwhile, Krilla, he's been farming up the Storm. He's got 42 last hits, heading now into the neutral camp that I bet he wishes Lion had stacked for him. Maybe Enigma trying to split a little bit of that XP up. Meanwhile, we are going to have Delete Bat being stunned up by Arteezy, unless he can get a crazy juke on. The double stun is fantastic there, but the Black Hole is committed. The Chemical Rage on the Alchemist, keeping himself up for a long time. RP to follow up. Mr. Outside is an animal. That's the team fight that the Dire got going for them. There's going to be a power shot. It does connect onto the Enigma, but it's not quite enough to get him now. Now Junior and Junior has to run. Smacked down by the Sven. Enigma getting the kill on that. He comes back with the last sliver of his life to secure a kill on the person that almost took him down. What sweet vengeance that is for the Enigma. So it's looking really good for the Dire. They get 3 very important kills here on the Radiant Heroes, and now they're feeling comfortable just kind of going back and farming. Sven, well, he does now have that Morbid Mask, so going for perhaps the early Helm if he wants the Mom, that's up to him. I've seen both work. I think the Mom is a little bit more typical. Now Spandam is going to get Spear and Siphon down. He'll be A-okay for now, though. He is going to go pick up the Phase Boots. Maybe he sells those and buys them at the side shop, but okay. That's up to him. Personal choices, man. Maybe he wants everything hand-delivered by that Dire Courier. Cute little donkey there. We are going to have some initiation in the mid. Mr. Outside, it does not have that RP. Does have that Shockwave, but that one's right off the mark. So I think they have to concede this Tier 1 tower as Pugna, man, those Nether Blasts are certainly doing some work. There's going to be the Fortify coming out. Wind Ranger coming in, just spraying the damage onto that tower. And, I mean, Dire, they gotta let this go. There's really nothing they can do unless they all want to die, so the Tier 1s fall. The only one left standing is this top one right here, and oh, they're going to catch out Delete Bat. I think that is one dead Lion. There's not a whole lot he's going to get done. Alchemist is the one to get the kill, and yeah, easy enough. They're going to rotate here. Sven securing the kill on the Radiant Tower. He's got that Helm of the Dominator now. He's got the Power Treads. He's fresh out of mana, but you know what? Tower is worth. Gonna see rotation here from JH and Junior, maybe looking to pick off the Sven, but now gonna go back, play this safe, farm it up, keep the Tier 2 from pushing. My goodness, that Sven is starting to get a little bit powerful. We're only 12 minutes in the game, but he's been pretty much unchecked. He's second on the net worth board, only falling behind the Alchemist, which is to be expected as he now has still holding on to those 2 points in Greevil's Creed. He has opted to go for the Armlet, which I know I don't see it a lot. I would have rather seen the Alchemist save up for something really big. Let's see the old Alchemist Radiance build. Let's see, you know, an S and Y, just get some stats, BKB, some survivability on him, and the Armlet feels like it's kind of underwhelming combined with his ultimate. Sven gonna be walking in, Gonna be trying to get something out of here. Going up for the Ancient stack. They have the black hole in 45 seconds. This is ambitious. Krilla just goes in, steals the Ancients. My goodness, the plays from this guy. Arteezy gonna be stunning up Krilla, but ends up falling courtesy of the Finger of Death from the Lion. There's gonna be a Nether Ward scouted out there by the Lion, and they are gonna pick off Prugna as well. Digimon's now here, drops the Death Ward, the mechanism up on the side of the Dire. I didn't even notice that. That is such an early mech from the Enigma, and it's really paying off. JH and Junior going in. There is going to be no skewer, but there is a Shockwave if they need it. Nice body blocks from the Magnus trying to get her down. Do they go in with a Shockwave to try to finish things off? I think Windrunner, she lives to tell her tale from this, but it is not without severe losses from the Radiant. Death Prophet, meanwhile, just focusing on farming up, but she's 5th on the net worth chart. I don't think she wins this game with farm. I think she wins it by going in with her team, rotating, looking for picks and towers. I mean, a farm Death Prophet's just as scary as a Death Prophet with a heck of a lot of kills. Now Arteezy coming in, making some good use of that Greevil's Greed. His last hits are pretty solid, but I like this medallion choice. I think going into the Solar Crest even would be pretty smart. I like that he's picking it up early, but again, I just don't know what the armlet really adds, except for maybe some last-ditch survivability. He should be able to hit hard enough without it, if he's properly farmed. Mr. Outside, he's holding on to that RP. Maybe anticipating things get a little bit hairy mid, but for now, Pugna's going to show some restraint. We do have the blink on the Magnus too, so he's looking for something. He knows that Arteezy's there now with the acid spray, so he's not looking to bite off more than he can chew. Viper's hanging around back. No real items on him aside from the phase boots. It's 14 minutes in. I'd like to see some progress on real items, but he had a really tricky off lane and was forced out of lane most of the time. That is a tanky melee creep, courtesy of the Helm of the Dominator. We're going to have Witch Doctor focusing on the Eidolons, but again, no real initiations. All of the Radiant going to be rotating down bottom, hoping to maybe get some push here into the jungle. I'm not sure. Maybe even posturing for an early Roche, as they do have the medallion on the Alk. There's going to be a nice big smoke here from the Dire. Are they going for the Radiant Heroes or are they going for the Roche? Either is possible. It's like we're going to follow them around. They're going to go through the river, up into the Radiant jungle. If they find a black hole here, this is going to be massive. The smoke is revealed. They are going to see the Windrunner and the Witch Doctor. There's a nice shackle. Stormhammer comes through. Sven, he is free. He's going on to the Witch Doctor, channeling that Voodoo Restoration. There's going to be the Spirit Siphon. It is cancelled as the Sven walks out of range. We've got the Exorcism going on. Arteezy stuns himself. Dire, they just want to disengage here. They realize maybe there's too many Radiant heroes to deal with at once. So they're all going to back, and I think they get a clean escape, except for maybe the Viper. Nah, he's going to take kind of a funky path out, but I think he'll be A-okay. Krilla going in, taking up his nice little Ancient stacks, courtesy of that awesome melee creep he has dominated. And now he's got 2,100 gold in the bank. Is he opting to go for a Blink Dagger? I think that'd be pretty smart of him. I think he'd be able to get some really nice Blink initiations with the Stormhammer, and well, hopefully that leads to more and more kills in the Dire's favor, as they are leading the kill score just slightly. At 16 minutes in the game in terms of XP and net worth, it is just barely in the Dire's favor. It's certainly not a runaway by any means. Ugly Peruviano going in. Pugna just trying to keep up in terms of farm. He's really, really poor in terms of net worth. He is dead last, even though he did get a little bit of something in the off lane. Windrunner, she's picking up some sentries, so it's... I mean, they're worried about vision, I guess, and dewarding, but Windrunner, she's gotta get something. That Orb of Venom paid off in the early game, but it's setting her back further and further from her Aghanim's progress. Looks like Sven does opt to pick up a Blink Dagger. I think those initiations are going to be straight up awesome once he has that. He has to be a little bit careful, though, as there's 4 Radiant heroes maybe looking to stop this push. They've got the Witch Doctor. He does have a Shadow Amulet, so he's going to be going for that Glimmer Cape early on. I think that's a very smart item pickup. He wants to be able to channel his ult to the best of his ability without being stunned up by that Sven Stormhammer, without being beep-bopped by the Magnus, whatever you want to call it. So now we've got some Dire splitting up their aggro. Sven on his own, farming in the jungle. That's exactly what he needs to be doing, just keeping his net worth up. And maybe Lion, Magnus, and crew look for some pickoffs here. I think they have the potential to get it. Lion has his finger back off cooldown. Magnus, same deal there with the RP. Ready to go in for some fun stuff, but Windrunner, well, she wants to find something as well. She's going to get caught up by the Viper here. Nice shackle, but she might have to pay for this with her life. Yeah, bye. She did not live through that at all. Lion is the one to actually get the kill on that, so he's going to feel pretty nice. And I think maybe it's time that we have Dire pushing down mid to secure Their mid-tower here on the tier 1. There's going to be just a Crypt Swarm from the Death Prophet. They could punish this. There's going to be a Stormhammer going deep. There is an Exorcism if she wants to commit it. In fact, that might be the play right now. She's going to get Earthspiked up and fingered down. Delete Bat. What a play. Double man Black Hole. Catching out the Witch Doctor. There's going to be an RP. There's going to be skewers all over the place. Viper ends up getting a double kill there just from the poison tick damage. Arteezy's running for his life. He's in the Chemical Rage. They might catch him out anyway. He's going to be taking a tricky path around this tier 2 tower. He wants to live. Meanwhile, Sven's focusing his attention on this tier 1 that will surely be going down. So yeah, this is looking really good for the Dire right now. Arteezy, he's feeling kind of scared. He's not exactly where an Elk wants to be. He is going to go... Well, that's going to be the makings of a Sange. So maybe going for that Sange and Yasha, maybe going for a Halberd. Not quite sure what he's up to there, but there is going to be some pressure here onto the Radiant tier 2.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Looks like Radiant, they're feeling almost ready to concede, and I think this might end up being a stomp. As Dire, it seems like they're starting to run away from it, but you can never underestimate an Alchemist, especially when he is still top of the net worth chart. He's going to pop into that Chemical Rage. Again, more pauses. These are brief and frequent, but they're existing nonetheless. Arteezy goes in, gets a nice stun onto Mr. Outside. Can he do anything? He is going to use that negative armor there of that completed Solar Crest. There is going to be a Viper follow-up. They are going to try to go back on Arteezy. They hex him up. They got Delete Bat. There's going to be a Shockwave. They do have mana for an Earthspike now. Krilla goes in. Stormhammer, Earthspike. Arteezy might just be dead. He is going to channel up a stun. Who's he going to go on? It is going to be Van Dam. Can they get the Viper down? Looks like one more swipe will do the trick. Arteezy might end up falling here. Yes, he does. But Delete Bat going to be the target of Soul Siphon. Now it's going to be Krilla. Krilla just manning up and fighting in the middle of this Exorcism. Krilla will end up falling, courtesy of that Death Prophet Exorcism. Delete Bat. Trying to get away. Hits another Earthspike and now scooting away. Lucky to have his life. And maybe doesn't get away so fast as Pugna. He's here. He's going to be going in with the Life Drain. Delete Bat does walk out of range. Mr. Outside has the Shockwave if he needs it. RP off cooldown now. Just going to be posturing this up very defensively for the Dire right now. They have to concede their tier 1 tower to this Pugna.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Around back, we are going to have a little wrap around here. Is Digimon, he's ready to go in. He has the Death Ward. He's got the Shadow Amulet channeled. So it's these 3 Dire heroes against the world. They're trying to hold back an entire wave of Radiant. And that wave is about to crash here as Witch Doctor's going to reveal himself. Goes in with the Voodoo Restoration to heal up the Pugna. They might be trying to go into Magnus here. They are going to land the Shackle on him, but it's just a brief Shackle. They're going in with the Life Drain on the Pugna. But they got to be aware of this Viper, who's going to be initiating here onto the Windrunner. She's going to pop into the Windrun to try to get some of that dodge. I can't remember the name of that now. Woo, brain fart. Either way, Mr. Outside holds on to the RP. Enigma waiting for the cooldown on the Black Hole. It's up in 10 seconds. Maybe trying to skirt the Radiant around just a little bit till he can land the Black Hole, but not going to be so lucky. Meanwhile, Krilla continuing to farm up, not feeling as safe in his own jungle as he'd like to be. It's going to be J.H. and Junior now working towards that Aghanim Scepter, having that casual Sage's Mask for the mana. I think that's a pretty solid play. It's not too expensive of an item, and, well, it certainly helps her out, especially with the mana problems that the Radiant are prone to have. Got Arteezy continuing to farm up now 3 points in that Greevel Greed. He's feeling really good. He is going to go for the Sange and Yasha, and I'm surprised he picks up the Band of Elfskin first. I thought usually you wait for the Blade of Alacrity, just because it's a more cost-efficient item, but either way, Arteezy does what Arteezy does for a reason, and he's top of the net worth chart. We've got 4 angry Dire heroes pushing down, ready to go in, ready to initiate. They definitely want this tower. They're going to pop the God Strength here on this Sven. I think that's a little bit early as the Radiant. Well, they're postured up and ready to deal with this. We're going to have the Witch Doctor going with the Shadow Amulet. We have the Exorcism coming out. Do Dire back off from this. They're going to be a defensive heals here from the Death Prophet. She's trying to go in. Krilla, she's trying to smack her down underneath her own ultimate, but Krilla is going to get stunned up there by the Bouncing Cask. Nice Black Hole here, sucking them into the abyss. There's going to be an RP to follow as well. Digimon looks like he's not long for this world, trying to scoot around the backside. Arteezy going to get drained off by Delete Bat. Now it looks like Enigma trying to run for his life. Looks like he will get away for now. There is going to be the Witch Doctor ultimate to secure the kill on the Viper. That's some really big pickoffs on the side of the Dire. Now Mr. Outside going to be the target of all the damage. Looks like maybe he gets away. He goes for the rune. A little bit of a greedy play. That's going to cost him his life as he does end up getting power shot down. So 3 of the most important heroes on the Dire will fall trading only for a support Pugna. That's definitely not going to be exactly what they want. In fact, that's a 1,400 gold change in favor of the Radiant. So now we've got Death Prophet. She is going to be building towards, well, either an Octarine or a Bloodstone. I'm going to guess the Octarine just because it's really freaking good on her. But, you know, you could stick with the OG Death Prophet build if you'd like. She's got that defensive Yules, and we saw how effective that was in the last fight. Meanwhile, we've got Arteezy here. He's going to catch out Burnt Mexi in his own jungle. I think they're going to get this kill. Man, Enigma not feeling so happy about that, but Krilla going in. 3-man Stormhammer. The cleave for days is going to get down Windranger. Now Krilla needs to run for his life. The life drain from the Pugna is doing a lot. Death Prophet does get Earth Spiked up here. There's going to be a charge, bringing Death Prophet closer towards the one they got to keep her away from, but they do get the kill. Now Arteezy getting kind of low, needs to watch himself a little bit. The armlet's on. He's going to get out A-OK for now.
Dire's middle tower is under
Ugly Periviano. He hasn't made much item progress. He has the Gloves of Haste. I gotta wonder if that's going into a Midas. It seems pretty late to get that out. And as far as catch-up Midases go, Pugna is not the best carrier, but it could definitely work out for him in the long run, depending on how late the Radiant want to take this. Because at this rate, just the amount of gold Ugly Periviano has, he's going to need another 2 or 3 minutes before he can even fly the Midas out. And it's not going to pay for itself for a good couple, 10, 20 minutes. I think that's a long time to wait for a first big item if you're the Pugna. So we are just going to see kind of a back off and a reset. Krilla now farming the Radiant jungle, going in reckless abandon. Now they have the black hole in 30 seconds on Burnt Mexi. They're not even going to need it. They're going to go in onto Arteezy. Arteezy pops the Chemical Rage, delete Bats here. This awesome line going in, hits another Earth Spike. The Pugna trying to do what he can to keep his buddy alive. May end up sacrificing his own life. Krilla ends up getting stunned here. There is going to be the Death Prophet coming in with the Exorcism, going in with the double Soul Siphon, but now Krilla just smacking her up. Will he live from this? He's going down too fast. Krilla ends up falling, courtesy of the Death Ward, and now Alchemist picks himself up a double kill as he also takes out the Enigma. Arteezy going to be going in, going to be stunning up the Viper as well, and I think Van Dam may end up falling now, although Arteezy has no more ultimate for 14 seconds, doesn't even need it. Death Prophet with that Crypt Swarm secures the kill. So again, 3 crucial heroes on the Dire give up their lives for not really a whole lot, given up in favor for themselves. So again, it's going to be a big gold swing in favor of the Radiant. If Radiant keep taking fights like this, it's going to be a very pleasant late game, but if they let Sven continue to farm, it's going to be very tricky. We've seen what he can do with those Stormhammers. That's not something you want to mess with after Sven completes whatever item he's going for next. He is going to pick up a Chrysalis, so most likely going towards that Daedalus. I would have liked to see a BKB. I think it would help a little bit up against the Death Prophet Crypt Swarm, up against the Pugna's everything, the Witch Doctor Cask. I think it would just help make him not locked down so much, but you're gonna see. Oh, nice RP! Connects on 4! Does this go into a black hole? It does! 4-man black hole! Wow, triple kill for the Sven, but that was just on the shoulders of an unbelievable RP and follow-up for the Enigma. Beautiful execution there by the Dire. They get everything they want. The Alchemist is left up, but, what's he gonna do up against this push when the rest of his team is dead? Really great play from that, and just the Sven alone secured himself so much gold. Looking at the XP swing, yeah, that's the drop-off from a black hole RP combo. We're now almost back down to 0 XP. So now we're going to go in. We are going to put some damage here onto the tier 2. Radiant, they are going to immediately pop the Fortify. They don't want to deal with any of this. The only Radiant hero that is going to be walking towards the damage place is going to be Arteezy. I mean, he's got a completed Sanjinyasha. Now he has a completed Hyperstone. This is either going to be a Moon Shard or most likely an Assault Cuirass. Dire, they're going to back off, realizing, all the Radiant's up. We don't want to risk losing any more unnecessary pickoffs like we had last time, so they're gonna go back safely. Mr. Outside, feeling good about what he's been doing. My goodness, that Magnus, he built exactly what I think he should. He's got the Arcanes to keep himself sustainable, and he's got the Ultra Mobility, which has just been working wonders for his RPs. I don't think he could have hit a more perfect one in that last fight. Now we've got Arteezy going head-to-head with Krilla. Krilla could turn and stun. Looks like Krilla's going to be taking the first initiation, but Delete Bat goes in, has the Hex. There's going to be a Shackle here onto Krilla. He might be the first to fall. In fact, he will go down, courtesy of that Soul Siphon on the Death Prophet. Delete Bat is going to hop into that Glimmer Cape, trying to get out of here alive. The Radiant are pushing up so aggressively. Can they get down Bert Mexi? He's not going to walk in the direction they planned, so looks like Enigma gets out, but they have to sacrifice their Lion and their Sven. That's not ideal. Now it looks like Radiant, realizing, whoops, there's still a tier 2, going to be sending the Exorcism in to do a good bunch of damage. The back door, it is still up, so they're not doing as much as they should be. They've got the Creep Wave now, hopping in as soon as that hits. Yep, that's the tower. Going to be going down in favor of the Radiant. Alchemist now ready to push the tier 3s, although this might be a little bit ambitious as the Viper and the Magnus are up. Magnus has the RP ready to go, has the Blink. Probably just waiting on that Force Staff cooldown. That could be huge. We also have the Black Hole, but it's not up in 30 seconds. Van Dam goes in. He is going to be casting a lot of damage there onto the Windrunner. Is going to be taking a stun as well. Arteezy diving deep for this one. Uses that Solar Crest, pops some negative armor onto him. Again, looks like the Radiant just going in for some all-out Rax push. Meanwhile, Mr. Outside looking for another one of the best RPs of his life, and he has the potential to get it! Oh, that's not as good as it was last time, but that is still freaking awesome! Lion goes in, showing that power, and he's gonna get a double kill. Sven gets a double kill, just courtesy of the smackdown cleave from the God Strength. So fantastic job by the Dire, once again holding. They do lose their ranged Rax and their tier 3, but it's building up the Sven bigger and bigger. He is now second on the net worth chart, being topped out by the Alchemist, which is to be expected. I mean, if an Alchemist wasn't top of the net worth chart, I'd be really worried for Radiant. We are going to see Delete Bat get killed off by that top of the net worth chart Alchemist as we say his name, and well, it looks like we are going to see a Monkey King Bar coming out for Arteezy pretty soon, unless that's going to be a Basher and then also a Daedalus, which it's possible, but I think MKB is more likely. Looks like we are going to have a Roshan attempt coming up for the Dire. I don't think Radiant really know what's going on. We've got Arteezy maybe walking towards the pit, but he's going to be too late. He does blink in. Can he go for the steal here? Krilla's trying to man fight. Krilla just wants the Roche, but Krilla will be falling. So Sven, he's going to get the Dire. There is no snatch going on. Wow, really clean plays by Krilla. He ends up being able to blink out of the pit, but Arteezy following him up. He has the Blink Dagger. Krilla going back in with the Stormhammer. Mr. Outside skewering him under tower. Can they get this kill? This is going to be huge. Arteezy channeling up a stun. There is going to be a Viper Strike here. Krilla takes the stun to the face, but Krilla's just going to live through this. He goes through. He's on a killing spree. He manages to take down the Alchemist. So Alchemist, what seemed like an amazing Roshan steal, ends up costing him his life. Death Prophet going to be grabbing up that bounty rune. And now it's just going to be Witch Doctor farming up. I think everyone's ready to just kind of reset, take a breather, relax, and figure out who has the momentum here, because it seems to be split back and forth. Krilla is getting huge on the side of the Dire, but I mean, you can never really underestimate an Alchemist doing his own thing. I think Radiant, they're going to have to push their window before they completely lose it to the Sven, so maybe group up. Death Prophet has the Exorcism. Windrunner has the Ags almost completed. Another 80 gold on her, and that'll be all done. And then she'll have that awesome Focus Fire, being able to push down the towers very quickly. There is going to be a full smoke here from the Dire. They're rotating in. They want to find something. Hopefully, they're able to find out the Death Prophet and the Witch Doctor. So let's see what comes with the smoke is revealed. They're so close to the Death Prophet. They can smell her, but they can't find her. She's going to juke her way around the trees. Enigma reveals himself. Maybe he's trying to set up a bait. The Dire, they're all revealing themselves. Krilla, he shows his positioning now here. The Death Prophet combined with the Pugna. Krilla goes in. Nice Stormhammer, slapping him up. And now, beautiful skewer to make sure the Death Prophet lands smack in the middle of that black hole. Great job by the Enigma. It wasn't the most ideal black hole, but it got the job done. Dire get 2 pickoffs in the Radiant. Well, they've got 2 less fighters here trying to defend against this push. Krilla comes in, takes the Ancients just as a way to say, you know what, Radiant? You're big, but I'm bigger. And now, certainly as he has the Javelin as well. So Delete Bat is going to almost be at that Aghanim Scepter as well. He needs another 50 gold, and that's going to be a crazy Finger of Death. That AoE damage is going to be fantastic. Maybe trying to out-Sven the Sven, as, you know, the RP clumps them all up, the Black Hole clumps them all up, and And maybe going in, taking that Finger of Death kill for himself. The Courier ends up going down. There was nothing on it. Burnt Mexi is going to be stunned up here. Arteezy, well, he's fished up. He's going to be pushed out. RP connects onto 2. Fantastic job from this Radiance. Arteezy trying to get out with his life, but he's just going to get stunned and stunned and stunned. They take out the Witch Doctor, or sorry, the Wind Runner. Arteezy channeling up a stun, but he might get locked in place. No, he does manage to cast it on Krilla, but a nice max range Earth Spike going in. Burnt Mexi manages to go in, hex him up. Sven gets another kill. He's doing fantastic. He's charging up a Death Prophet underneath the tier 3 tower. This might be a little too ambitious, Sven. You've got no Aegis. Looks like the Pugna does go down, but they have to trade it for the Sven, and that's going to be 322 gold going the way of the Enigma. So this is going to be a free tier 3 tower coming out as there's a wipe on the Radiant team. Dire, they're looking like they're in a really good position. Everyone's feeling awesome there with those Guardian Greaves completed. And, I mean, the Sven loss is huge. Absolutely. You never want to lose a Sven. He did give up 878 gold to the Death Prophet, but it's certainly worth it for a lane of racks and a complete wipe on the Dire, or on the Radiant, sorry. Now Viper does pick himself up that Silver Edge. It's going to be a nice item for ganks, but I don't know how much use he's going to make out of it. I would have liked to see him go more right-clicky power. Maybe pick up an S and Y. Maybe even some more survivability, picking up a heart. Might be a little bit ambitious there for a second item, though. We are going to have Lion with that completed Aghanim Scepter, just waiting to fly it out to himself. He's got another 2k gold in the bank. Maybe looking to pick up a Blink Dagger on top of the Aghanim Scepter and just stack himself up. Mr. Outside cleaning up the top lane, does now have the Perseverance, and has the Refresher Orb already, just waiting to fly it out to himself. That's going to feel real nice in a couple more 100 gold. Death Prophet, meanwhile, she's feeling the slump. She's got the Octarine core, she's got another 1100 gold in the bank, but I mean, what does she really do with this that can save out her entire team? I think it's all on Arteezy's shoulders, and I don't know how Arteezy is going to stack up against a Sven, because Sven is now 12, 5, and 12. That's a good amount of kills for Sven at just 34 minutes in the game. So it's Death Prophet going to be trying to farm up here, keep herself relevant, but again, a Death Prophet's path to victory is not paved with creep gold, it's paved with hero kills, and she needs to be rotating and looking for more of that. We have Delete Bat rushing in, going in, Earth Spike, Hex, doing what he can. He does not have the Aghanim Scepter, so he could go in. Oh man, that's Sven showing no mercy, two-shotting the Windrunner. There's going to be a Death Ward here. Delete Bat may end up falling. Krilla actually going to be taking a good brunt of that, but another clutch RP. We've got the Refresher Orb completed. Mr. Outside going to be running for his life. Doesn't want to risk losing it all to the Death Prophet, so Radiant, I think they're going to drive off the Dire this time, although Krilla just turns and fights. Black Hole secures the kill onto the Death Prophet. Delete Bat going in with the Finger of Death. Arteezy getting stunned up. Man, Arteezy, he's getting mana drained. He's trying to get out, but he's just going to get stunned and stunned. Another RP committed onto just him. I guess it's worth it as Krilla comes in, secures the kill with that Stormhammer. He's got the MKB. This guy is huge right now. Meanwhile, we just have Viper applying pressure to this tier 3. He's going to get pinged by Lion, maybe trying to group up and force something together as a team. They want another set of racks to really put them ahead at this point in the game. It's only Witch Doctor left surviving on the side of the Radiant. Seems like he's kind of chilling in the base, maybe lost a little bit of morale, lost a little bit of the will to live, you know, the usual in pubs. You're going to have Krilla polishing off that tier 3 tower, focusing his damage on the racks. In terms of turnarounds, good golly, we're over 15,000 net worth in favor of the Dire now. So Dire, they got what they wanted to. They're going to back out and feel good. Maybe they sacrifice the Lion here. You know, it's worth it. Honestly, you give up your support line. He's actually going to Glimmer Cape. He may even end up getting out of here just fine. That is one lucky Lion. He's feeling real good. So Dire give up absolutely nothing for pretty much a team wipe, a set of racks, and whatever they want to do now, well, it's theirs. Roshan, we're going to need another minute before we realize how long it takes him to be back up. I think Dire are hoping for a short timer. They just need to get an Aegis on Sven, and then it's GG. He's going to have the Daedalus. He's going to be cleaving like a madman. And that's it's not something you want to go up against if you're a squishy little Witch Doctor or a squishy little Pugna. Van Dam now is going to go for the Yasha, so maybe a Manta, maybe an SNY. I think at this point in the game, may as well just get more bodies on the floor and go for the Manta. I think it will also dispel the Alchemist stun, which is That's never bad. It's not doing a whole lot of work, but it's always obnoxious. There's going to be a smoke gank up from the Radiant. They're a little bit early if they want to scout out the Roshan, but maybe they're looking for kills. Nah, they're pinging the Rosh. It hasn't even figured out how long it's respawning for, so maybe a little bit of ambition there as they didn't correctly time out when the Aegis was picked up. Mr. Outside now does have that plate mail, so probably he could go for something. Ooh. Oh, man, he's getting me excited there. I thought he was going to go for it. They do find out Van Dam there. They have the sentry. Is it enough to connect? He is going to get stunned up, but they lose vision. Now another sentry plays down, but Arteezy, oh man, the 4-man RP going through. Does he have the refresher? No refresher just yet, but I think that's enough. There is going to be the black hole. It secures the Death Prophet, but she has her exorcism out. Grilla has to run for her life. There's going to be the Death Ward as well. Burnt Mexi might end up feeling the burn for this. Arteezy, he's just in way too deep. Triple kill for the Sven. They get down the Alchemist. They get down everyone they need to. The lone survivor is this Witch Doctor TPing back to base, but that's all the Dire need to be able to get in and completely push this, as there's already pressure on the tier 4s from the creep waves. They have an exterior tower still left on the Radiant, but screw it. Finish him off. Go for the tier 4s. Go for the throne. Digimon, he's spending a good amount of time just working on one super creep, and I think this is where they're put out of their misery. Digimon is 2-shot. Oh, poor little buddy. And Krilla, he's beyond huge right now. He has surpassed the Alchemist in net worth at only 39 minutes in the game. He's got 4,000 gold. Please just go pick up a rapier. Make it worth it for yourself. But Dire, they're gonna play this one smart. Figure out, we got the advantage. We're gonna have fun with the advantage. Go and get what we want. Krilla goes in, slaps down the Windrunner, the person that gave him such a hard time in lane. Well, he's not feeling any of that pressure anymore. The Ancient's exposed. It's going to be going the way of the Dire at about 40 minutes in the game. Radiant, they're just going to let it happen. Ugly Peruviano hopping out of base, but only briefly. We've got the, oh no more RPs there for the Magnus as he pops the refresher at the last second, but GG, well played in favor of the Dire. Awesome game to watch there. Some of the most clutch RPs I have ever seen in my year or so of casting Dota, so congrats to the Magnus. Mr. Outside, props to you, fantastic playing, but I think Sven, he's got to get some honorable mention as well, as he has 20 kills at the end of this game, and only 5 deaths, so fantastic playing all around. I think Dire, their draft was so synergistic. They knew what they were doing, they got in, they worked as a team. The RPs into black holes, into Sven cleaves were just monstrous, and, well, also props to Lion and Vipers. They held their own. They had a bit of a tough time in lane, but they definitely pulled it off by the end. Overall, fantastic game to watch, and I hope you enjoyed my casting. So if you have any feedback or just want to offer some support, feel free to reach out. You can comment on this video. You can hit me up on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, whatever you'd like. Android, Anycast, just I'll link everything down in the description below. Thank you again for watching, and yeah, I hope you have a excellent day.